What's up, friends? How y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing well. My name is Jesse Hughes, and I want to say thank y'all for looking at another video that I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to publish, and I hope that this video is something that will inspire. Hopefully this video will encourage. Hopefully this video will be something that we can take home with us and take home and share with our families, share with our friends, and it will become a stepping stone, a tool to help build better relationships, and not only build better relationships, to have a better relationship as it pertains to our spouse, our husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, pertains to our kids. And if there's something that we are doing wrong, hopefully this video will be something that would cause us to rectify and correct the situation as it pertains to our kids. And I'm thinking about this video that I'm getting ready to do, and one of the words that I will be using in this video is a phrase by the name of parental alienation syndrome. And what that means is that's when one parent is trying to bring the child within a situation and poison his or her mind to go against the other parent. That's why it calls parental alienation syndrome. And in parental alienation syndrome, it is very tragic when one parent is trying to cause the child to be in this situation with the other parent and poison his or her mind as it pertains to the other parent. I've seen a lot of relationships where the mother has been salty, has been upset with the father, bitter against the father, so they will bring their child in the situation. And then I saw where the father has been mad at the woman or the wife, and they will bring the child into the situation, try to cause her or him to be against that parent, other parent. And it's never good to bring a child into a situation like that. The child is already struggling enough with a broken home, struggling enough from a divorce, struggling from the idea of both of my parents was not into the relationship anymore. So it is important to know that we as parents, we should do all we can to try to not bring a child into the relationship as it pertains to poison his or her mind to the other parent. That's why they call it parental alienation syndrome. I've seen in relationships where the father or the mother they would actually be, both of them would be pulling like as a tug of war, and the child in the middle is being, trying to go, which way should I go? Should I be with the father? Should I be with my dad? Or should I be with my mother? Although I love my mother and I love my dad, I don't know what to do. So it would cause a type of confusion in a child's mind. And it would not only cause a type of confusion in the child's mind, it would cause him in the sense of, I'm tired of seeing my parents fight like this. I'm tired of seeing them go through this type of situation where I'm just a child. I'm being caught in the middle of don't know which way to go, don't know which way to turn. So we as parents, we should never get to the point where we are using our kids as pawns. We're using our kids as tokens. One of my favorite games that I've ever played, my favorite games that I actually play right now is one of them called chess. I also like Sudoku, but I like playing chess. And in chess, there are different characters. There's the pawn, there's the rook, there's the queen, and there's the king, and a couple more characters in the game. And the object of the game is to cause the king to be immobilized. So when you look at the immobilization of the king, that's what the woman, that is what the man is trying to do. They're trying to cause the man, they're trying to cause the woman to be immobilized, where they can't function right, where they can't do certain things in society right. That's why we have so many laws. That's why we have so many legislative laws as it pertains to restraining orders, as it pertains to protective orders, that is not always right, So that the woman is using a protective order or a restraining order to go against the man so that he cannot see his kids the way he wants, so he cannot be around the kids the way he wants, and there'll be a crime, there'll be a charge of violating of protective order. So the women are using so many laws now to their advantage, and it's not always good that a woman, it's not as good that a man will bring certain laws or bring certain charges against a man to keep the man away from his kids, or to keep the kids away from the man, because we've got to understand that when we are doing this situation, we're not only affecting the man, but we're affecting the kids. And the kids should never be in a sense of being, in a sense of whether I can't be with my dad, I can't be with my mother because of certain legislative laws, certain criminal laws. And it should never be like that. And another thing, I'm thinking about another word that is called splitting. And when splitting means is when a woman or a man is using other assets, other people into the situation so that they could, kind of be on a team to hurt somebody, to hurt the other party. So it should never be that tight where, we're using people to hurt our spouse, our husband that we are estranged from, our wife that we are estranged from. But we should always get to the point where, I'm going to make this work not only for me, because it's not just affecting me, it's not just affecting the husband, it's not just affecting the wife, but it's affecting the kids. And if we don't care anything for the husband, the wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend that we're split up with, that we've broken up with, we should have in mind to say it is affecting the kids, because we don't never want to get to the point where the kids is being affected, the kids is being, tossed to and fro, the kids is crying at night, don't know which way to turn. I love my mother, I love my father, but I don't know what to do. And, we should never get to that point. We should never get to the point where our kids is being used as a pawn, our kids is being used as a token to bring pain to that other party, but we should always have the mind to say, my kids is most important to me, and even if I don't like him, even though we left out on a sour note, I'm going to do this for the kids. I'm going to endure, looking in his face. I'm going to endure being there to try to work on a common ground for the kids, because when we affect the man, when we affect the woman, we're actually affecting the kids also, because we've got to understand and realize that our kids is our most prized possession. Our kids is the one that are being affected the most. A 50, 60, 70-year-old person is less likely to be affected by a divorce as it pertains to the kids. But when the kids is being tossed to and fro, that's when they have suicidal thoughts. That's when they have thoughts of hurting somebody. That's when they have thoughts of giving up of their lives and taking other people's lives, because they are being affected by the situation of my parents are not together anymore. And not only my parents are not together, I don't know which way to turn. I don't know whether to turn to the left or to the right. If I turn to the left, my father will be mad. If I turn to the right, my mother will be upset with me. So I'm going to stay in the type of confusion. But we should never get to the point where our kids is being used as a pawn, our kids is being used as a token, our kids is being used in the sense of, I got to get back at him, I got to get back at her. But when we understand the parental alienation syndrome, sometimes that is an act of a borderline being a narcissistic or being narcissist, because a person say, well, I'm going to hurt this person and then I'm going to do any by any means necessary. If I cause my child to be in the middle of that, they will get over it. I've called my mother to be in the middle of a bad situation, but sooner or later she will get over the situation. But when it comes to our kids, we should never get to the point where we're using our kids as pawns, we're using our kids as tokens, we're using our kids as in the avenue of, I'm going to get back at his, or I'm going to get back at her. Because our kids, like I said, is the most prized possession that God could have ever given us. So when we get to the point where we're using our kids as anything to hurt that other person, step back and realize that our kids do not deserve what we're giving them. Our kids do not deserve to be confused. Our kids do not deserve to be hurt. Our kids do not deserve to have all that pain, all that mental stress and anguish that are going through them. So let's not just do a relationship. Let's not just be in a co-parenting state for the sake of us, but let's realize that our kids is the one that's being affected also by this situation. So I want to let you all know tonight or whenever you watch this video, just don't put our kids in the middle of anything that will cause them to be affected mentally or emotionally. Let's have our kids at heart, and let's understand that our kids is the most prized possession that God could have ever given us besides the Holy Spirit. So until this time, next time, I want you to like this video. I want you to comment. I want you to give me a thumbs up. I want to share it and let us know that, regardless of what's going on, we're not going to use our kids to hurt the other party, but we're going to use our kids to bring men of broken relationships and do everything in this possible to live a good and peaceful life. So until this time, next time, I want to say God bless you, and God bless you.